What about the 3 kids in UK? The 3 little kids in the UK thing that
man.
just happened. I didn't even know. I just started hearing about this like 10, 15 minutes ago.
Oh, really? Oh, no, that happened yesterday, and now there's like full-scale riots going on.
What? What
Sounds
is
like the English might actually be rising up.
Oh,
I think they're burning like
Police
vehicles
stations.
outside of mosques and
Yeah.
stuff. And now the UK is putting out stories through their propaganda arm saying this is the EDL, the English Defense League or something. So Taylor Swift and
do you have an article on it?
I sent an article there, yeah. Taylor Swift in shock after fatal stabbing of 3 kids at dance class celebrating her music.
First off, why the hell would you put Taylor Swift? Who the hell cares what Taylor Swift feels like about the 3 kids just being murdered?
So
sorry, that pisses me off.
Taylor Swift said Tuesday that she was completely in shock after 3. This is the only story I could find on this.
Thank you, JD, for the super chat. First off, funny that JD, because vice presidential nominee. But yeah, people are in Pennsylvania. Go out and support President Trump at the Butler rally. He's going back.
Okay, so Taylor Swift said Tuesday that she was completely in shock after 3 children were killed at a dance workshop celebrating her music in a British seaside town. 8 other children were injured, 5 of them critically in what police call a ferocious knife attack. Not a terrorist attack. Monday in Southport, a seaside town in northwest England near Liverpool. On Tuesday, authorities announced the 3rd child had died. 3 of the victims were named by police. We don't have to say their names. 2 adults were also critically injured. They tried to defend the children, the force said. The horror of yesterday's attack in Southport is washing over me continuously, and I'm just completely in shock, Swift said. These were just little kids at dance class, she added. This is what they are, the Mohammedans are doing. No words can describe this. I don't care what Taylor Swift says.
Well,
right. No words can
Taylor Swift.
Okay. No words can describe the devastation that has hit our family as we try to deal with the loss of our little girl, BB King's family said. Keep smiling and dancing like you love to do, our princess. Like we said before to you, you're always our princess, and no one would change that. The comments came as local police left flowers and stuffed animals in tribute at a police cordon near where the incident took place in town, which is famed for its beach and pier. Britain's prime minister visited the seaside town. But I want to hear what happened.
So what it was...
Okay, here we go. Okay, you scroll down a little. Police said a 17-year-old boy was arrested in connection with the attack. Investigators said he was from a nearby village of Banks, but did not offer a motive. However, they said the attack was not being treated as terror-related, and no one else was believed to be connected. This is a 17-year-old guy. He's an immigrant. His parents are from Rwanda.
They say he was born in Cardiff, but yes, his parents are Rwandan, and I would imagine they're Muslim.
Man, this is nuts. So basically, England right now. Let's see if we can find anything. Southport riots. Let's see, Southport.
So it does say here there was a protest outside a mosque in Southport, and police were attacked by a crowd of men, many of whom were wearing masks and hoodies. Some chanted far-right slogans, probably like, I don't know, don't kill our kids. That's probably far-right in Britain.
So extreme.
Okay, so I got it here. Riot police on the scene at a mosque in Southport as angry crowds throw bricks, set off fireworks after multiple children were stabbed in the Taylor Swift themed dance class. Officers are believed to have sustained injuries as chaotic scenes unfold with men, several wearing... I sent this to the chat, Rob. Balaclavas, throw loose bits of masonry, and shout England until I die. So a police van...
England until I die is considered far right now.
Just like Make America Great Again. Like if you just love your country, you're insane.
Okay, so there's video too. Let's see if you can get through the commercial. See if you can play that video, or
when you're about to watch a riot,
this one,
you get an Allstate commercial coming up first.
Police had seen a Southport stabbing his children. I said this is probably from the original event.
Yeah, I probably don't really want to see that, to be honest.
Okay. Assistant Chief Constable Alex Goss says there has been much speculation and hypothesis around the status of the 17-year-old male who is in police custody, and some individuals are using this to bring violence and disorder to our streets. This is why they claim to not release the identity and the motive. This is what they're worried about. If they release the motive of the Trump assassin, if they release the motive of that girl down in the girl, the girl, she was actually a girl who went and shot up the Christian school, the one that
Nashville,
was
yeah.
gender confused. Like they don't. Whenever you don't hear the motive, you know it's something that would actually make the mainstream population rise up.
No.
So they try to control the information to us. They don't let us know what's going on, and people have had it, man. I don't understand. I mean, you look at even what France did with this Olympics thing. You allowed them to mock your national religion, and you also allowed your country to be taken over by Muslim men. I mean, we've seen how many churches burned down in France over the last decade.
The other day was just the like 8th or 9th anniversary of the martyrdom of Father Emile, or that old French priest
who was attacked during mass, right?
Yeah, killed on the altar.
Yeah.
Killed on the altar. I mean, you guys mock your own faith and then invite this army essentially into your country. I think Europe is heading for decimation. I think this is going to be part of God's chastisement upon Europe for abandoning the faith.
I think
1,000%. If I have to meme myself, 1,000%. And what you see in this is that just like here in the States, we have stupid people enacting stupid decisions to feel better or to feel good about themselves, or in order to get money from a globalist society. At the end of the day, all of these societies want to push mass migration, whether that's legal or illegal, into the country. And the issue with this is, of course, the left always likes to blame the right by saying, you're racist, you're homophobic, X, Y, and Z. The reality is this has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with culture. Our cultures, which are defined by Christianity and by, European philosophies, etc., are being destroyed by individuals who do not value those said societies. And so what we need to do as individuals is say, yeah, let's get these knuckleheads out of power, which is going to have to take more than just voting. It's got to take some real work in order to get these guys out.
Rob, did you want to add something? I was going to say something about that.
I do have a video about the riot, but before that, I was just going to say, I don't know if Europe does, like Europe as a civilization, as a people and culture, I don't know if they survive it or not, but either way, I think we're on the brink of probably the most horrifying and devastating and terrible race war the world's ever seen. I don't think Europeans put up with this much longer. And like I said, I don't know if they win in the end, but I think
it's going to be part of God's chastisement for his people.
Probably.
And that's going to be how he calls them back to him.
So,
now, Phoebe said we're doing this to ourselves too, like we're doing this here too. But I mean, America, it's part of the West, but it was never a Catholic country, right? Where when you look at Europe, you look at European history is Catholic history. There's no separating European history from church history. They are one and the same.
I mean, by the time America was formed, Christendom was basically dead, and we had actually kind of helped killed it.
Well, yeah, you could say continentally, you could actually say we were Catholic in certain pockets, Texas,
Right.
Florida,
Canada.
It's like so large.
South America, and actually the abandonment of the faith is happening throughout the entire West. It's
not unique to that. I mean, jokingly, but also semi-serious, it's like the Vatican's not a Catholic country, so we just need to understand that reality at the moment. But yeah, you're right. I think, Rob, there is going to be some type of cataclysmic event, because look at all of the previous European elections that we've seen over the last year and a half or so. Most of the right-wing parties have gotten into power, and the only exceptions are France and the UK. The UK, because the Conservative Party completely abandoned its mission and its promise to its voting base that they were going to rein in immigration. And you had, thankfully, Nigel Farage's Reform Party rise up, and that's what they were really focusing in on. And so they're going to have to suffer through 4 or 5 years of Labour leadership now, which is going to do absolutely nothing for the British people. And then, of course, with France, it was just Macron centrist liberals who decided to go ahead and back the socialists because they were so afraid of Marie Le Pen's party getting in and actually putting France first for their own people. It's insane.
There was fiction book written probably 20 some years ago, shortly after like the war in Iraq started. I think it was written by an author named Ralph Peterson, I think. And I forget the name of the book, but it's basically this premise of a larger war in the Middle East taking place probably about now, that had started after more or less a new Holocaust kicked off in Europe by Europeans against Muslim immigrants. And I think it's just amazing that that man foresaw such a thing 20 years ago. And I think we're really starting to see the beginning of it play out now.
Yeah, and this is something we should pray against. We should pray, obviously, for massive conversion in the Muslim population, because war is never, I mean, outside of several instances of legitimate just war, war is a horrible, horrible thing that most of us just do not even understand how horrible war is. But you're right. Like, you cannot, at the end of the day, have two fundamentally opposed cultures in the same place. I mean, people who blame America for imperialism or blame the West for imperialism 24/7, they like to say, well, like, look, we shoved all of these tribes in Africa together and they were warring with each other, but we say get along and be their own country. But then those same people say, well, we should welcome the entire world into the West and we'll all be hunky dory. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I you have to think it's intentional because they want to, because it seems like the elites are intentionally allowing not just immigration, but immigration from people that are so culturally different from us that they want to disintegrate whatever there is that unifies us as a country.
Yeah.
Right?
This was the book. I just remembered, if anyone is interested. The War After Armageddon by Ralph Peters.
And this is a fiction book?
Yep. It's a fiction book.
All right. I might check that out. Need a good book to read. Thank you, Cigar Mate.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so it seems like they are intentionally bringing in people that have such completely different cultures from us so that we have absolutely nothing that binds us anymore. Like we were talking earlier about like Catholicism, right? And how Catholicism is meant, like, what is the purpose of religion? Religion is meant to bind us. It's like you're aiming at, I mean, it's going to sound very, oh, look who's here.
Hey,
look who's here.
Hey, bro.
Oh, we're talking about people from the Middle East too.
What was that?
Nothing.
No, Rob. we were talking about immigration, and Rob made a Middle Eastern joke to our Iraqi friend over here. So,
sorry, brother.
Oh no, the least people you want except in this country is from the Middle East. So the first people to pick out, I can tell you that. I'll be the first person to run that operation.
So I was making the point. I said the part of the reason it seems like they're allowing all this immigration in is to take away anything that binds us as a people. I was saying how, like, the whole point of Catholicism is our religion is meant to bind us together. And it seems like they fractured that in the 60s by introducing this new rite that we go and we worship with. So that kind of fragmented the church to make it so that we're not even unified as Catholics anymore. They desensitized all of our sensibilities of just even our Catholic sensibilities. They've desensitized. So there's nothing that unites us as Catholics anymore. You can't even get any of us to agree on anything. I actually saw left-leaning Catholics defending what happened at the Olympics, saying that we need to chill out and, it's just art, things like that. So by bringing all of these different cultures into the US, there's nothing left that binds us. And it seems like something that they're trying to even maybe divide and conquer, so that there's, as long as we're all at odds with each other, we'll never look at them. It's just a way to keep us fragmented to the point where we're arguing about the gender stuff, we're arguing about all these stupid things, and never at any point do we all look at each other and go, look at what they are doing to us. They are actually taking any ability we have to support our families. They're taking away, they're destroying our economy, they're destroying our livelihood, they're destroying our children. None of us ever focus on the real problem because we're all fighting with each other.
Does anyone know a good artist that can redo the Divine Mercy image into a masculine Jesus? Would this be sacrilegious? I mean, it wouldn't be sacrilegious to do an image, but I'm afraid artists aren't really my.
If anyone can do it, it's Chris
It'd
from
be
Riots.
Veritus, yeah.
Yeah.
He knocked it out of the park, yeah.
Yeah, to your point, Anthony, everyone should go and check out. I'll pin it, or I'll put it in the comments section once I can remember it. I'll go back into the video and put it in the comment section. But there's do you guys know the John Birch Society? You guys have heard of them before?
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah, the John Birch Society is a old school paleoconservative American political organization that's infamous for its anti-communism. It's a fantastic organization. They put out several documentaries, particularly during the BLM riots, talking about how communists go into communities and they try to divide people by, instead of what you would think, which is like, hey, let's break down barriers and all be equal. Right? No, it's let's divide people by race, let's divide people by class, let's divide people by gender. Depends on what group you're trying to target, but let's divide people in order to get across some type of deconstruction agenda, a deconstructionist agenda of dechristianizing it, perhaps, or destroying the male-female dichotomy that you do see in nature. It doesn't really matter. So all of these things make sense that they're happening because we have communists, we have Marxists who are doing these things. Maybe they don't use those titles to describe themselves, but their policies are those things. So it makes all the sense in the world. It's like Kamala Harris at the moment. Kamala Harris is 1000% a Marxist in her ideology. I put up on Instagram today a famous video of her saying illegal immigration is not a crime. I know a crime when I see it. It's not a crime. If you have that happen in the United States, we have no country left.